Hello everybody, the Teen Engineer here, and today I would like to show you how to increase your typing speed with a program of Python I made. So I'm just going to show you how this works first. So I'm just going to open up the code and just run this. And so this is the design. It's not that good, but that's not the point. So you just copy this code. You copy this text, and you just have to write it in the entry here. And then you click submit and you see your accuracy and stuff like that. So you can see your accuracy is 7% and your speed is 13 words per minute. So we can continue and submit it again. So 33 and your speed is 32 words per minute. As you can see, if I continue, it keeps going down because the time is increasing, but you're not increasing. But your speed is not increasing. So it's going down. Obviously, it's going to keep going down. So we can continue. Go ahead. So you get the point. So this is how it's going to work, and you don't even need internet for this. So you can use it anywhere you want. So if you would like to download the code, I'm just going to open up GitHub here. And I have my repositories, and I'm going to put the link of the GitHub in the description if you would like to download it. So here it is, and this is the first file here containing all of the texts, because I don't want to put it in the Python code. So this is all the files or all the text that are going to be outputted, and here's the code. So you can just, if you want, you can just raw and then just Control A, Control C, put it in your IDLE, and then run it by clicking F5, and that you'll be able to run it, because you won't even need to download any modules because they're all included into Python. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, we can take a look at the code. So this is pure Python, and it's pretty simple. So I'll just go through and break down everything. So here we're importing random, so because it's gonna randomly choose a text, and you'll see we'll use that after. And here we have time, and time, what we'll do with time is we'll calculate the words per minute. All right. So there's a formula to calculate the words per minute. I'll show you later. And here we're using tkinter to input everything, and here I'm just importing the font from tkinter. So here we're instantiating. Whoops. We're instantiating. I'm gonna make this bigger for you. Preferences here. 16. Okay. Apply. Alright, perfect. So here we're instantiating an instance of the class tk, and we're assigning it to variable roots. And here we can easily make a title for the window, so you can just put whatever you want in here. So we can see, if we run that again, we can see on top here it's written typing skills, because I wrote that here, typing skills. And then we can set the size of the window, so 1200 pixels by 500 pixels. So this is, I believe that's X and Y. Okay, so here we're declaring some variables: accuracy label, text, and WPM label. WPM stands for words per minute. So these labels mean that they're gonna get outputted. We're gonna use them to output on tkinter. All right. So we have more variables here: accuracy, words scored, and words per minute. Here, pure text is gonna be a list, and we'll use that later. Here you can make a font with tkinter, so font.font, and then you can put the family and the size, so size equal 50 and family equal Arial. So we'll see, we'll use that font later, you'll see it. So we made a class, whoops, we made a class here, we made a function called retrieve input, and we declared this input value here, and then text input equal text enter.get. So what this means is we're gonna get the value of text entered. So you'll see we're gonna use that later. So let's just continue here, and then we're opening the file typing skills.rtf, and we're reading it. So you can pass in A, W, or R, or WB, but that's something else. Okay, so R means you can read from it. So here we're just adding every line or everything from the file. Okay, we're adding everything from the file into a variable called text. So I'm just gonna open the file for you so you can see or visualize it. And it has a bunch of these texts that we're gonna split up. I think there's 12 texts in here, and yeah. So now there's this. I don't know why. In one of the texts there was this. I don't even know how to call this thing, and so I had to replace it with nothing. By the way, if you just don't want to hear me, you can just go to GitHub and you can just read the comments, and you'll understand everything. So here we're checking in every line for every line in text.split, because in my text, let's see, I put here we can see it, a pipeline or a pipe operator they call it, and I'm splitting the texts like that. And then here we can see that I used one, so it starts at the 1 and not the first one, but the second one, okay? Because the first one is like a bunch of settings, and it's not my text; it's a bunch of settings of like the text size and the text family. So we just don't want that. We want the second one and all of that after that. So we add all of those to pure texts. Technically, they are pure text because it's only the text. So now we welcome the user. So when you have a label, the first thing you wanna pass in is the window it's gonna be in. So the window is obviously gonna be root because we instantiated here, and that's the window we want to put it in. So root, yeah, where was it? Okay, so root, and then we put the text in here. Obviously, that's what you want to put. So if I run that, so we can see. This is the text. This is the text here. You can see we put hello and welcome to test your typing skills, and we can see it. Hello and welcome to test your typing skills. I shrunk it. There you go. So, and we're assigning the font to font style, and we made font style here. So it's gonna say, okay, this font is going to be Arial and size is of 50. And here we are just putting a background of cyan to make it look nicer. I don't even know. It's pretty bad design. Whoops. It's pretty bad design. So. Okay. Then pack. Pack, what it does, it just brings it to existence. So you can either place it or pack it. Pack it, it just brings it to where there's space. So if you pack it after some of these, it's gonna bring it below these ones. But since this is the first thing we packed, it's gonna be the first thing that's gonna be appearing, which is gonna be at the top. And then after that, this one we packed the second thing, third thing, fourth thing, and then these ones replace them, and you're gonna see what's the difference. So here we're taking the text chosen, so random.choice between pure texts. So it chooses randomly between the texts. And then here we're removing some irrelevant characters such as comma, this thing, a quote, double quote. And here when we see a dot, we just want to put a new line so it doesn't overfill. Okay. Now we have the text. So how are we going to label the text? So we're putting it obviously on the root window, and the text is going to be text chosen. So it's pretty simple. And here we can configure the font. So font equal Courier and 15. Here you can put whatever you want. You can put Arial and 30 if you want. So, and then we bring it to existence. And since it's the second thing we bring to existence here, we can see it's the second thing on top. So first thing and then second thing, third thing and then fourth thing. Yeah. Okay. So here we have the text input. So we're gonna ask the user for input. So we're just telling it it's a string variable, because this is how you we'll see when we're gonna use this. So we use it in here, text entered. So it's an entry. So an entry is, can't even know. I have to. Alright. So an entry is this text box, as you can see. Okay, so this is what we're doing. So text entered equal entry, and then we're putting it on the root window. And then here the text variable equal text input. What this does is it's assigning what is inside the entry to this variable called text input, and we're assigning the width to 130 pixels. And then we're bringing it to existence, and we can see here that since it's the third thing we bring to existence, we can see here that it's the third thing. So first thing, second thing, third thing, or third, I guess, object. So we have this function here, but I'll explain it when it gets run. So we have another function, but I explain it when it gets run. So here we have a submit button, and the submit button, here it is. Oops. Here it is. So this is what we're doing. So it's a button. So by the way, if you don't put from tkinter import all, but you put import tkinter, you'll have to put tkinter.button. But since we imported all, we can just put button here. We want to put it on the root window. We want to put a height of 1, a width of 10 pixels. And the text that's going to be on the button is going to be submit. So we can see submit on there. And the command, okay, so the command, what it does is when the button is getting clicked, this is the function it's going to run. Okay? So then we bring it to life. So we can see that this is the fourth thing it brought to life. So fourth thing it brought to life, you can see for 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So root.main loop, what this does is basically, if you don't put this, it's not going to do anything because you won't be able to see it. So it's going to go super fast, but root.main loop keeps it alive. So continues looping the buttons and everything, so you can see them. So you just want to always put this at the end of your code. So now we can see the first function that is being run is retrieve input. So let's go to retrieve input here, and we're defining a variable called input value. And input value is going to be text entered.get. So let's go to text entered, and we can see text entered is the entry. So we're gonna retrieve the input from there. And now that we retrieved the input, we're gonna call the get accuracy method with the word scored and the input value. So let's go to get accuracy now. Right. So here it seems to be a pretty big function. So now we have the word scored and the input value. And if input value is not equal to 0. So what this does is, if they entered something, so this, if you don't put this, then it's just gonna start putting, it's just gonna start running even though you didn't even click the button. So now when you put this, it makes sure that they click the button. All right. And then here, basically what this for loop is doing is comparing the word that they put compared to the real word. So let's say they put I don't even know, let me open it up. So you can see, let's say there's a fire starting, so it compares theirs, and then it compares theirs to theirs, and then this one you can put anything, and it compares A to this, and then it compares if it's the same thing. So we can see here in zip, and zip, what this does, you can compare two lists. So dot split, which means we're comparing each word. If you don't split, it's going to compare each letter. So you don't want that. So we're comparing between input value. So this is a list with the words, and this is the text chosen with the words. And then here we compare if the words are matched. If the words match, and if they do, then we increment word scored. And then word scored will help us calculate the accuracy. So here we're calculating the accuracy here. So accuracy is equal to word scored. So if, let's say, you have 10 words scored divided by how many words the text has. So let's say you have 10 words scored divided by 10 words in the text times 100. That's 100% accuracy. And then we want to display the accuracy in a variable called accuracy label. So obviously we want to put that accuracy on the root window. The text is going to be, we're using an f string here. So your accuracy is going to be, and then you round up the accuracy because we don't want it to be too long. So we don't want it to be like 36.6666666%. Just it's going to be like 37%. So then we configure the font. So we put it Courier at 20 pixels, and you can just change these. You can play with them if you want to make it look nicer to your likings. So here we're placing it. So what's the difference between place and pack? So pack, you can't really tell it where to go. So when I was using pack for this, I was realizing that it was putting the accuracy, and then when you click the button again, it was putting another accuracy below that. So when you place it, every time you click it, it's going to overlap the previous one. So now that you put specific coordinates, it's going to overlap the last thing that was in there. And now we're calling the function get words per minute. So let's go to get words per minute. And we're getting words per minute variable and the input value. So here we defined a variable called speed. And I'm just going to break this down for you. So speed, you can see how to calculate speed per minute. Wait, what? No, typing speed per minute. Typing speed per minute. Obviously, I'm not the best typer. So you can see the characters or the words divided by 5. Wait, let's see. But basically, I took it. Basically, typing speed is how many words you wrote divided by how much time you spent times 60, because this time.perf counter is the time since the code has been running, right? So if it has been running since 10 seconds and you wrote 30 words, then 30 divided by 10, that's 3 words a second, times 60. Calculating that right now. 3 words a second. That's times 60. That's 180 words per minute, because time.perf counter is in seconds, so times 60. Okay. So now that we have the speed, we can just put it on the output. So words per minute equals label, and then the window is going to be root. The text is going to be an F string, obviously. Your speed is, and then we put the variable speed, words per minute. And then here we configure the font to Courier and 20 pixels. And we do the same thing for place because we don't want it to overlap. So I'm just going to show you, maybe you don't understand what I mean when overlap. So Control X, and that's going to be pack. Actually, oh, whoops. Okay, I'm just going to pack. And you'll see what this does. Okay, see, first of all, it's doing that, so it's not like at a specific place, and you do it again, and you see it's starting to just keep adding it instead of overlapping itself. See, so I didn't really want that, so place it at a specific place, and that looks nicer. All right. See, it just keeps overlapping itself. This is perfect. All right. Okay, now that that's done, you can just play around with it. Maybe change the title if you want, change the geometry, change some font to make it look like yours. Also, you can add your own text if you want, change some colors. I didn't really spend time on designing on this one, actually. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And this helps you, like, if you don't have an internet connection, you can just, if you're bored or something, just test your typing skills, feel better about itself. Let's see my typing. That's 42 words per minute. Alright, I'm just gonna try again. Ooh, I'm fast, yeah. 83 words per minute, that's not bad. Alright, so if you would like to download the code, you can just check the GitHub link in the description. yeah, and if you like to support me, you can just check the PayPal link in the description. Yeah, if you like my videos. So thank you and keep watching.